Hello, this is Ghosty speaking, and if you don't know, I am a massive Batman fan. The mythos, the world, the characters, the lore, all of it. Which of course includes the 2022 film, which goes by none other than The Batman. Which honestly, I think I have talked about this well enough on the channel already, but I will dive into the new announcement regarding its sequel, which is actually going to be a new villain added to The Batman Part 2, which is going to be Clayface. And at first, it's a little shocking regarding the universe that they're building with this movie and this trilogy, but then again, my inner child is screaming. Well, who am I kidding? I'm screaming now, in this state, currently. I am beyond joyful over this, and I think Clayface has a lot of potential. I think Clayface is a great character, a great villain that could be used in many different ways, and it's awesome to see that he's getting a live-action iteration of him, especially in this new universe where possibilities are endless. Like I said, there's lots of potential, but sadly there is a but, because the way that Matt Reeves is shaping his universe, this iteration of Clayface could be something that the majority does not know about too well, so I'll give you a little insight on the character beforehand, before we get into all that. So, Basil Karlo, a.k.a. Clayface, or what would become of Clayface, has always been an actor. He's a man of class, he's a man of theater and drama. Him, as well as the Karlo family as a whole, has always been involved in the stage play industry, whether it comes to acting or makeup or special effects, anything like that, so to speak. And due to the use of illegal hazardous waste and toxic chemicals in the stage play industry, it led the Karlo family to their downfall, which included the disfiguration of Basil Karlo, which resulted him to go back to that stash of hazardous waste to fix his said disfiguration. But it didn't help, and instead it turned his body into a malleable clay-like substance, which now we know that is the monster and character of Clayface. And even though there is more to the story, I just wanted to give a little description to give you somewhat of an understanding if you don't already. So, excuse my lecture about character lore that you most likely know about already, but we have to remember how this universe is being handled and how it's being directed, because this character's inclusion can go in two very different directions, which could be for better or for worse, which brings me to the original version of Clayface, which I actually expect, much like many others here on the internet, which is the golden age of Clayface. Which in this case, Basil Karlo was still an actor that had starred in a horror movie which was getting a remake, which also came along with a recasting, defaming him and getting him out of the spotlight. So this drove him insane, and because of this, he adopted the grotesque villain persona of the film and decided to become a serial killer, killing off the cast and crew of the movies. And with that is two very different directions that they can go with adding Clayface in this universe. Matt Reeves has a very specific take with his Batman movie and his trilogy and what he's planning to make with this universe. Summed up in one word is grounded. Grounded. So it's realistic. What would it be like if Batman and his rogues, if Gotham City was in the real world? That's pretty much what that means. Personally, I'm not a fan of the whole realistic and grounded take on Batman. I will say Matt Reeves' first film, last year in 2022, did do it for me. I adore that film a lot, actually. But overall, I'm not a fan of the whole realistic and grounded approach to Batman and said stories. Batman mythos and his villains, especially, are very fantastical and they're very, out there. And so far, Matt Reeves has kept the grounded approach as best as he can, and I think it did work for the most part so far. And hopefully he does turn more into the comic side of things going forwards. Like, just right here. Clayface. I expect it, like I said, like many others do, if Reeves is going to keep this grounded approach, it is very, very likely that Clayface in this will be the Golden Age version. Which it could definitely be done right. It depends on how far they go with it and how grounded they want to make him. But then again, it's Clayface. You don't choose Clayface for anything outside of his character, because there are many villains to choose from, and Clayface is a very special character for very special scenarios and whatever the story may be. I do prefer if they use the actual absolute unit that is Clayface, the actual clay malleable monster, but again, he wants to keep it grounded, so they may not do that, but we'll have to wait and see. I think it would be a missed opportunity to actually debut Clayface on the big screen and not use the actual monster that he is, and instead use the Golden Age version, even though it would line up in his universe and it would fit much, much better, and it's more likely to have that version of Clayface be involved. But I do think it's a missed opportunity, and it would be a shame to have Clayface debut on the big screen and not be this absolute muddy monster. But again, Golden Age Clayface does have potential, and whatever they work with it, I have faith in them. I think it's going to be well, whatever it may be. But just also as like a comic fan myself saying this, if it does end up being Golden Age Clayface, I hope the majority opinion of Clayface doesn't turn to that, if you know what I mean. Like, take other movies for example. The Dark Knight took the Joker because of Heath Ledger's performance and the plot in that movie. It turned Joker into more of a society message sending character rather than the unpredictable wild card that he is in the comics just for laughs. Or like Thanos in the MCU, people automatically refer him to the Infinity Gauntlet because of the movies and not actually just for his character. So if Clayface in this is going to be the Golden Age version, I hope that the general idea of Clayface and the general like concept and media of him doesn't turn out to be the Golden Age version, and everyone still knows and loves him as the clay monster that he is, rather than this specific iteration if they were to do the Golden Age version. If that even makes sense. Hopefully it does. I ramble on a lot. I don't blame you if you don't get it. But now moving on, Clayface is going to be in the Batman Part 2. It's not completely confirmed yet, but hopefully. This could all be for nothing, honestly, but I don't know. I'm very glad to see him coming into this universe and on the big screen as well. Again, I prefer for it to be the monster, but even if it is the Golden Age version, I'm glad Clayface is getting some recognition and just coming to the live action rogues in general. Plus, regardless of whatever iteration of Clayface it may be coming to this movie, it opens the door for a lot of other villains and a lot of different fantastical characters in this universe, which I'm hoping to see as much as it possibly can. But for now, all we can really do is wait and see. I kind of hope that Matt Reeves confirms something, at least. But then again, I kind of want to wait for it to be a surprise in a trailer or a teaser, whenever the hell that's going to be. Because Part 2 is a long way from now. It's going to be a good wait. Hopefully worth it, though. So, I think that's all, though. I'm really interested in seeing what they're planning to do with Clayface as a character and, of course, physically and just in the plot and movie as a whole. But I think that I've said everything that I wanted to by this point. Oh yeah, Matt Reeves has also said that he wanted to show off Clayface before, along with Scarecrow and Professor Pig, so hopefully they make an appearance or two soon, maybe, I don't know. Thanks for watching, I think that's it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe if you're not already. And of course, feel free to let me know what you think of all of this as well, and comment your favorite villain if you've gotten this far. Thanks for watching. Ghosty, over and out.